Hello, welcome to Talking In Stations. This is Matterall here on something of a reconnaissance trip. There is some action in this area. I'll just show you the map so you can get oriented. We are in Delve. I've got storms lit up because, as you can see, there is an electrical storm hampering my ability to cloak, which puts me in danger in any of these systems. And this happens to be where a lot of the action is actually happening. TTAC, QC TAC, 1B. So we're really looking for iHub, TTAC J. Yeah, this is all past Helm's Deep. This red area here is Helm's Deep, and that's where the storm is actually centered. Interestingly, that's a coincidence. So you can see the eye of the storm being red, fading off into yellow, and then eventually gray. So I am here in LUA5. I'm safe. I can actually cloak up, but anywhere in this area, and the electrical storm interferes with the cloak. All right, again, we are in Delve. There are a couple iHubs that are being attacked. And for those unfamiliar with iHub mechanics and how SOV works with those things, I can explain that a little bit later, but it's a fight that is spread out, so it's not just one single point of contact, which means really won't be able to see one head-on collision between these two sides that are fighting in this area. But what we may see is some babysitting of nodes that need to be conquered. Apparently, there are no fights happening. The Imperium has not defended these structures here in Helm's Deep area for whatever reason, but probably they are outnumbered. It looks like they're outnumbered by at least 2 or 3 to 1. So for them to take the fight in this area, they would really want to defend it. And I'm not sure that's a big deal for them anymore. They claim, at least some people claim, that right now M2 TAC, where they won a battle not long ago. I don't know if I could see it here. Or 1DQ, those are two systems that now are key. I'm not sure Helm's Deep has the importance that it had before. It just depends on what you're listening to as far as messaging and stuff. But I think this is rhetorically a pretty neat idea to lock off a system. It would be difficult, but just as far as rhetoric goes, I thought it was interesting. Lock off a system and say that everything behind this system is going to be safe. That was the idea. That is the marker that was put down. In other words, you can conquer Delve. Well, if we back out even more, you can conquer Fountain, you can conquer Aquarius, you can conquer Period Basis. You're not in Delve yet. It's a rhetorical way of saying we're going to draw the line right here. In Delve, that's where we fight, and that's exactly what happened. Lots of fighting on the entry points to Delve. And then as Delve began to collapse, because essentially Imperium is outnumbered, their capital was exposed. Their capital is 1DQ right here. I'll just click on it. As you can see, that's a little more exposed. And so something of a retreat, but not a retreat, was called to come back to Helm's Deep. And that comes from Lord of the Rings. It's the castles built into the wall of the mountain. And it's where they make their last stand as the world collapses around them. And that's Helm's Deep. And that is the area that we are seeing attacked today. The infrastructure hubs are being taken, and those will be replaced by PAPI infrastructure hubs, and that is the beginning of the breaking of the wall of Helm's Deep, which again is a rhetorical device, but does signal kind of a last stand. Now, again, the importance of Helm's Deep may have changed with the occupation of M2 or the successful victory and gate camping in M2. Also, 1DQ has been, I think, maybe even surprisingly to the Imperium, been defended very, very vigorously on a few occasions. And so I think maybe the whole idea of Helm's Deep and retreating to this corner of space rhetorically was interesting at the time, because maybe the idea of defending 1DQ wasn't a good idea since 1DQ was exposed. But since it's been defended a few times, maybe the rhetoric should have switched. If it has, I didn't realize it, to 1DQ, we'll defend it, that's our last stand, and that sort of thing. Like, you know, you fight in your capital kind of thing. Right next to the capital is the enemy in T5Z right here. It's a three-dimensional map, so it looks like they're on top of each other, but you can see it. So Helm's Deep is down here. Anyway, like it or not, the Helm's Deep concept, pretty cool idea, pretty good rhetoric. It wasn't ever strategically a great idea, probably because of what you're seeing today, which is that Helm's Deep is actually very penetrable, especially if you have overwhelming odds. But this is a marker, so now it's a metric. And we've, you know, the battles are symbolic of metrics. I think anything you can point to say we're making progress or we need to make more progress is kind of interesting. Too bad that fights aren't really, let's take a look at ships being destroyed. It won't really show us anything, but we'll take a look. Ships destroyed in the last 24 hours. All right. And you can see 1DQ has the lion's share of that. If we do the last 3 hours, we might get a picture of where there's actual combat right now. Well, let's just do average pilots in space, then we can see where the fleets are. T5Z, okay, that might be where. That's the staging. This one, this iHub was conquered a couple days ago. Yeah, now we're into 8-16. I think that's either not accurate or just undocks. So let's go to something else. Average ships in space in the last 30 minutes. Average docked, average. Looking at these map settings, we'll go to statistics. Here, last hour. It's 3 hours on Dahlland. It's 1 hour inside the game. So we can see if there is any combat happening. It would light up a brighter red or orange. And just 47 ships destroyed in T5Z. Only 3 in 1DQ. But the action really should be over here. And as you can see, there's not much going on as far as combat. Okay, let me hang out with you here in chat. If you guys have information, pass it on to all of us. All right, maybe says, where was Gundor when Helm's Deep fell? Didn't Pappy win the iHub and M2? They did. The iHub now belongs to Pappy. is anything happening in Helm's Deep yet? Yes, iHubs are going down in Helm's Deep now. They're not being contested, so there's not a lot of fighting going on. There's not a lot to show. Also happens to be an electrical storm. Otherwise, I'd sit on top of one of the fleets and just watch them untosis the nodes. Let's see. All right, we'll consider putting on alerts through Twitter. I think you guys get alerts if we go live on Twitch, right? Helm's Deep only survived because Second Army arrived. That's right, that was the lighting of the torches, I think. Should probably put on that movie. I forgot about that scene. What happened? I was under the impression, says Just Right, DTAC-W is Goon main home station. That may have been the case. That was their main staging for their super capitals at a certain point. Their economic and cultural capital is 1DQ. It always has been. But their military base really was DTAC-W, since it had a nice jump range. But they are no longer in DTAC-W. I believe now they are in... Am I mistaken? Are they in 1DQ? I think they're between 1DQ and M2 now, since the super capital fleet moved it M2. And I think the gate camp has a lot of them there, but they might be in 1DQ. Yeah, so Octahex here says, no, it's 1DQ, and they are hell camping logged off Titans in M2, and that makes sense. That squares with my impression of what's going on. Yeah, so confirming, Tying 50 says, iHubs are being intosised, and Goon fleets have stood down. They haven't actually stood down. This is a good point brought up to by an FC. That Goon Swarm will not stand down. They may not show up, but they won't stand down because you cannot have several fleets from Pappy roaming around your territory, or they will take an opportunistic target like 1DQ and try to reinforce it, and you don't want to allow that. So you need to show some sign of life while they are active in your system, and that's in your region, which is what they're doing. So we know the Imperium has a few fleets up, and they will stay up as long as Pappy is formed up too. And it's a defensive posture to be able to react quickly on a surprise attack at 1DQ. So Goon Swarm is not stood down, but they are not contesting Helm's Deep area. Yeah, Pappy are taking iHubs. I'm showing you the map because I can't really get into this system due to Metaliminal Electrical Storm. Of all the storms, the one that knocks out your electric cloaking device. So we look here, Metaliminal Storm is in this area. It's right there, centered in the Helm's Deep system of E30I. Without the ability to cloak, Pappy would shoot me dead on sight. So I'd rather try to stay on the board as long as I can. You're watching Talking in Stations. I am Matterall, doing some live coverage of Helm's Deep, getting essentially their wall overcome by Pappy now, the hordes of Pappy. Taking down 2 iHubs, or attempting to. It's not over yet. And the Imperium is probably in 1DQ, sitting there waiting with a few fleets in case there's a surprise attack with all the momentum that's happening now on the Pappy side. Probably waiting and dissuading an attack on 1DQ. Ooh, and this is interesting because I think Horde is actually trying out an a Skybreaker, is it? Yeah, Skybreaker gang. And apparently, according to Merrill, says, never mind the Interceptor gang that just got nuked by Skybreaker gang. That would be interesting. I know that concept was thought up a while ago and might be trotted out today. I think it is, and that looks like it confirms it. So Skybreakers are the, let's take a look at what a Skybreaker is and why it might be a potent force. The Skybreaker is a little electronic frigate, and they shoot electrical damage, as you can see from these, I don't know what you would call them, pins or rods that come out of the ship. That electrical damage hits 7 targets instantly. It works something like a small Keepstar Doomsday device, although it's different. It's an electrical impulse, and so all the ships take the exact same amount of damage. The more ships you hit with this, the stronger it is, to a limit of 7. So if you have a fleet of these, they're also friend or foe damage, so I think you need to be very careful on how you use them, but so you don't fry each other. Or you have to just kind of tank up so that you can absorb a certain amount of damage so you don't kill each other. But these little frigates, a relatively new ship to EVE Online, used in the right circumstance can be deadly. 3 or 4 of them can take out a small ship no problem. I believe they have a rather small range, if I'm not mistaken. But it would be interesting to see these things take on a fleet of interceptors, because they could probably chew right through those really quickly. Okay, Dutch says, Pappy have made real momentum these past 10 days. I would have to agree, after the breakout, I think, although momentum was building, after the breakout, they really have kind of been unstoppable. Whether that's by design, a morale hit to the Imperium, or some kind of a strategy, I don't know, but I do know that Pappy has made all kinds of gains in the last few days, taking iHubs in DTAC-W, taking iHubs back in M2. There's a highly contested system, and so it's been a good few days. All right, doesn't seem to be much going on, so I'm going to go silent for a few minutes, and I'll take a look and see if I can get more information. Until then, we'll just be looking at the map. All right, I'll just read a little bit more. Yeah, an Ares fleet got nuked by a bunch of Skybreakers. That's the second time we've heard that. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you for the link. Look it up, see where it is. TMF or TTEC-M. Let me see. I think I can actually make it there. So why don't I go there and see what's going on? I'll try to see if there's any wrecks to look at. Oh yeah, it did kill. Well, it was a small fleet. Just like 15 interceptors. NC used to have a interceptor doctrine called piranhas.
Warp drive active.
Looks like they're leaving right now. Probably just passing them.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, the weapon is called Voltron. I'll look it up in a second. It's safe. I am way too far away for that.
Warp drive active.
More Aries. Or Aries. That's brave. Like there are Braves guarding this area. it's just a lot of frigates. Advanced frigates. Hope I don't get killed here, but I may. I'm coming in at the same angle as a gate. Not a good idea. I should have jumped to a safe first. Not only that, but it's nice to get... Sometimes if the warp is too short, your cloak won't be ready when you land. And so you may have a few seconds, which allows them to figure out where you're at. And you might be in trouble. These are interceptors, so they can probably see where I'm at. As soon as they locate me, they'll just burn towards me, and they can get there so quickly that I may not be able to get out of the way. But, you know, this is the node being entosed. Using a prophecy. Pretty thick battle cruiser. There are nodes happening all over the place, so this is... We have a second entosis there for redundancy in case one breaks. It's another prophecy. Well, this is what it looks like when there is no battle. It's kind of a quiet waiting. There's another node in system there. Are they on the wrong node? Oh wow. Looking at that Ares fleet from Goon Swarm that got blasted. It's a lot more than 15 there. It's 44 interceptors. Just got cooked. Alright, just seeing that Admiral Uberius, that is Gobbins, was himself in the fleet. Let's see if we can catch up to them without dying. I'd like to see those in action. Of course, it's super deadly for me to go, because these indiscriminate weapons would just destroy me. But I'll try to. Oh, they're actually here somewhere. I'll see if I can catch up to the Skybreakers.
Warp drive active.
I am chasing Skybreakers. This is like playing golf during a lightning storm. Not a good idea. It's a Sveeple. Oop, here they are. Skybreakers. The Horde fleet. We try to get safe before I get fried.
Warp drive active.
Try to warp 100 off. Oh, they might be moving. They took off from here. Try to jump with them. They're leaving to LUA. I don't mind telling you, I know this is a dumb thing to do, but it'll be exciting. These are Skybreakers I'm chasing here. Belong to Horde. They just took out an Ares fleet of 44 interceptors. That's impressive. Oof, there's a lot of them. Look at them go. They're probably going to QC. I'm going to assume they go in there.
Warp drive active.
Problem is there's an electrical storm in the area, so if I actually... Oh, great. And it's here, so I'm not going to be able to cloak. So it's really just going to be speed that saves me. There they are. Well, I hope they're not chasing me. I'm not going to find it, though.
Warp drive active.
Try to get out of here. I can't come back and cloak and watch them here because of the storm. You can see electrical storm. Cloaks don't work here. Cloaking devices cannot operate. So, not a good spot for watching them.
Warp drive active.
So I made a safe, which gives me an angle to come in on. There's a couple of reasons you want to make safe. Well, there's lots of reasons. Try that again. As I'm moving between objects, I will make a safe point. Great.
Warp drive active.
Just in case, I better... The hell? Okay, I'm clear. I was a little close to those NPCs. Oh, still too close. So I will make my exit.
Warp drive active.
I don't know how big those ships were. I just missed them. All right, so I'm coming into a dangerous area here. I'm 100 away from LUA. If they're on that gate, they'll see me and maybe pursue, and they are. So what I'm going to do is turn around and get out. And make a safe on my way out. That'll allow me to come in and possibly be able to have a look at them, because I have good view. Let's see if I make... Remember, I can't cloak, so I'm at a disadvantage here. I literally have to just stay away from them. Let's see. I'll go to that second safe spot. This is a very unsafe safe spot.
Warp drive active.
Destroy that one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Missed it. way is that gate? In this situation where I can't cloak, I just gotta constantly be moving. In case I get probed down, I might have a little advantage, so that way. Oh yeah, I'm way far off. These guys are... Oh, there's a sign now.
Warp drive active.
Test or somebody. Munins. I better bail. Yep, been targeting.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Oops, here's an Ares.
Warp drive active.
Why did I land on grid? Oh, they must be near there. Alright, I'm going into where all the back out so you can see, all camped up. Go ahead and jump before they blast me. I can cloak here, so
Warp drive active.
the Harpy fleet. There you go. Took you so long to turn. This is fairly different than it used to be. to widen the angle just to catch that, I hope. Nobody's there.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Try to get eyes on that gate one more time. QC. I know where the action is. Okay, let's see if I can get some information. Yeah, the other side of this gate is where the action is. This is as close as I want to get because I can't use my cloak in that electrical storm on the other side of this gate, so we can't see what they're doing. But there's an impel going through. Good luck, buddy. Where did you come out? This is test, so he's fine. Nice looking ship. It's a deep space transport. Yeah, other side of this gate has that crew, so Lord Harpy going through. So right here is where the action is. QC tick. If Gobbins is in that fleet, maybe he'll tell him not to shoot me. If goblins can keep them from shooting me politely, I'll try to get over there to the other side. I don't know what he'll agree to or how busy he is. Just accidentally took off my t-shirt trying to take off a sweater. It's a good thing I didn't have the camera on. Now you guys are lucky. All right, let's try to do this. See if I can avoid getting shot without. All right. I'm gonna see if I can get an invite or something. This might help me. Yes, okay, that will help. And actually bring some footage. Uh-oh. Not gonna slow boat up there.
Warp drive active.
Oh no.
Warp drive active.
This Eternal Requiem. All right, we'll try to get you some footage from the other side of that gate. Okay, I think it should be safe now. These are the Skybreakers plus Sveeples. To get some space from their targets. I don't want to be anywhere near them when they shoot. I'm gonna close this out for now. Oh, that Nestor is looking at me funny. I may have to bail. Got me. Oh, he's got me.
You cannot cloak your ship as you are being targeted by someone.
Yes, yes, I know I'm being targeted. Where's that guy? Test? Come on, smart guy. Alright, he's just got me tackled, so he may not shoot. So, yeah, there he goes. Smart guy. Didn't shoot first, but he made sure he could grapple me. That's actually a pretty good move. Alright, Kalandi, you're on TIS TV. Talking to some people here. Maybe we can get some photos. All right, what you're looking at is a gate camp in the delve area, what was known as Helm's Deep. It's now being penetrated. The wall is being broken down. There are some iHubs being taken over in this area that was supposed to be secure. That looks like a monitor going through the gate here. This gate here is camped by a fleet of Sveeple and, interestingly, oh, there it is, Edencom going off. Skybreakers, they look like they just torched somebody trying to get through there. It's first time we're seeing a fleet. They already wiped out a fleet of Ari's interceptors, which must have been spectacular to see. About 44 interceptors went up. Were destroyed instantly with the electrical Voltron projector coming from these ships. Kind of a bug zapper situation here, really. You have the light that attracts ships, and then you have the Skybreakers frying them when they take too long to jump through. This system also has an electrical storm in it, so cloaking is not viable. These ships that are landing, I don't know their identification, but they are able to land and jump through without a problem. There's not enough time for them to be destroyed, if they are even targeted, before they get through. But they may actually be friendlies, for all I know, to the fleet that's guarding this area. There it is, another blast coming from that Voltron projector. Looked like it was just one. There is a whole fleet of Skybreakers. We've never seen Skybreakers in a fleet. They're much too dangerous to work together. We don't know the intricacies of how it actually works. But it's friend or foe, so you can actually do a lot of friendly fire with that Edencom weapon. So I think there has to be some kind of careful cadence to the attacks. At least in a scenario like this. Make sure I don't get out of range. The Skybreakers look like this. These look like they're friendly to the gate camping parties. Remunins from test. Look at that. That's Chaucer. An eagle there. Well-known player. If oh. Well, he's an eagle, so I think he just got shot by friendly fire. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Probably because I was filming it. Sure, he could take the damage of one of those weapons, but when you have a whole fleet of them, it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. This place looks very well locked up. I don't think the Imperium are wandering through here. These ships that are coming in on the left are Munins. You can see they're shaped like a gun, pretty much. And Jackdaws, and these guys, that's a Claymore, it's a command ship. These guys are probably moving around trying to take nodes. This is a test fleet coming through. Scimitar, repair ship. Right, that's friendly fire. This eagle belongs to Chaucer, I think. Oh, you can see the... It looks like he's getting repairs now, so that's just... I don't expect we'll see anybody coming through this gate camp. It would be great if somebody did. Let's take a look at a different gate. We'll be back to QC here in a bit.
Warp drive active.
Another group of Skybreakers. Uh-oh, being targeted here. By a brave guy. You know, Probably made a mistake coming out far, so what I'll do is base.
Warp drive active.
If I get destroyed, it'll be my own fault. Those guys don't know any better. They see somebody who's not blue and they shoot. But you can't cloak now because there's an electrical storm here. Just a reminder, if you come into this area cloaked up, it won't work. See how many kill marks Asa has. Where are those things on this ship? Right. I'm going to push on to, uh-oh, an alert. It's a tackler. No, he's applying damage, so I'm going to take a look at the other gate, see if I can survive this. Come in at 30.
Warp drive active.
I'm going to come in closer on this next gate, and that I think will show them that I'm not a threat. If I'm an interceptor too far out, they may construe that as a spy or a threat of some sort, so hopefully I don't get targeted here. Here's a wreck of somebody that came through. Yeah. It's interesting, the iris on this works. I got it. Oh, I expect to get targeted like this harpy here is targeting me. But I think they get the idea not to shoot me when no one else is shooting me. They may just tackle. This has nothing to do, by the way, with me. Oh, there we go. Is that legit? No, that's the command ship, so there. Showing how the weapon works. Yeah, both gates may be the same fleet. I still keep getting targeted by people who may not be in fleet. I don't know. Yeah, same fleet. That'll make things a lot easier. But I figure there's a few guys that are out of fleet. All right. So this is Talking Stations. I am Matterall. We're looking at gates behind the Helm's Deep area as iHubs are going down. You could see an electrical storm in the background that is interfering with my cloak. I was able to ask permission to film this wildlife, and I got it, so I'm not being targeted by the gate camping side. I'm happy to do that for any side of this war. I kind of feel like, though, if Goonswarm were to invite me to do the same thing, I might get pranked, but hopefully I won't get pranked here, and hopefully if I am able to do it for their side, I won't get pranked there either. But what we're looking at here is unusual, and this is why I'm filming it. It's not just that this is Helm's Deep and it's getting its walls broken down by Pappy in this case, and this is all symbolic. If you don't know the Helm's Deep reference, look up Lord of the Rings, and I can explain its meaning inside of Eve. Oh, there's again, that's the Voltron projector in action, but it is just a test run there. But what we're looking at is not only Sveeples and other ships, but you have a whole fleet of Skybreakers, and it's the first time that I know of we're seeing a Skybreaker fleet out. So this is very unusual. It's a new doctrine from Horde, it looks like. For those that don't know, I'm going to go ahead and look up. Oh, here's my friend. So we'll just look at Gregorin. This is the Skybreaker, and it shoots an instantaneous bolt of lightning that hits 7 objects, and those 7 objects could be your friend, could be your foe. So you don't want to shoot this in a circle setting, or you have a circular firing squad. So they're hard to use in groups this big. You clearly do a lot of damage, a lot of self-destruction. But they have been effective so far. They've taken out an entire fleet of interceptors. We saw at least 44 of those go down that belong to the Imperium. So we're here to see if we can see how these things work together. Kind of an interesting range weapon. Question from Gyoki. Would Skybreakers be great against fighters? I am not qualified to answer that question. I don't have enough experience with Skybreakers, but I believe they don't suffer from a lot of other weaponry. Like, they hit full damage. I don't think there's any speed exceptions or tank exceptions. So theoretically, they would be good against fighters. This ship is from Edencom, which is the arch enemy of Triglavians. So the idea is that this weaponry in this ship is styled to be a direct counter to the ship and weapons of Triglavians. And that is a single beam ramping up over time. These are instantaneous range, area of damage, electrical. You see a few wrecks here, but think the word is out. Probably these gates are locked up, so. This is a smaller gate camp. Let's look at the map. We are in QC TAC on the gate, looking at T TAC. This is all in Delve, and as you can see, the big red dot here is supposed to be the castle that guards all this area to the left, this whole area, this constellations, but clear activity on the side of Pappy here. The Imperium is not taking any of these fights. I think they're severely outnumbered, actually. But this is the Helm's Deep area, and it looks like it's getting raided. So rhetorically, that's not a good sign for the Imperium, since that was going to be something of a citadel type situation. Yeah, I think there's no Gandalf in this situation. Chiromancer says, how do you measure this? How do you measure? That is old news as of 2 months ago. Well, rhetorically, it was never... First of all, rhetorically, it was a neat idea to say, like, we're going to create a citadel situation and we're going to move to it. And it's just a rhetorical device, really, rhetorical vehicle to pep people up. The problem is when you create markers, you create them for both sides. So the Imperium created a timer board that showed how effectively they were defending their iHubs. And in doing so, they created a marker that was then used by the Pappy side that showed how quickly they were taking markers. Or taking iHubs. And so then that went from a public board to a private board because it was a measurement. And Helm's Deep is a rhetorical measurement too. This was an area where the Imperium was making something of a last stand, not including 1DQ. It is old news in that this was done before 1DQ was successfully defended a few times and before M2 TAC occurred, which really hurt Pappy forces because they became trapped in that system. So that's where the Imperium has put a lot of effort. Lightning bolt, but it looks like they're hitting their own command ship, which can withstand a few of those strikes. I think the idea of Helm's Deep only matters if you want to give it importance, but it does show that essentially this is the moment where it shows you that Pappy can really go just about anywhere they want in Delve. There is no safe place in Delve, and I think that would be why today would be important. Asm1 says, one more fight like M2 TAC and Pappy will disband. That may be true. There's no doubt that M2 TAC took a lot out of Pappy. Their momentum stopped completely for a few days. Imperium was able to capture some prized iHubs and literally break momentum of the invasion. Drove it to a standstill. Another one of those victories. I'm not sure how recoverable it is. There's still plenty of Titans. I think there's still plenty of dedication to the war on the side of Pappy, but trapped Titans are, I don't know what stopped the momentum, if it was just the fact that there was a trapped arsenal in there, or if it was the idea that the servers couldn't really handle the kind of battle that they wanted to participate in. I think it was a mixture of both. Yeah, Kiramancer says, yes, people are logged in and camping even yesterday. That's where the Imperium focus has been in M2 TAC and 1DQ. Pappy has been all over the place, basically flipping constellations in and around M2. Also taking out a Keepstar in Knoll. Sorry, not Knoll, but in 1 TAC S MEB. They also saw the station in Knoll get taken down by the Imperium. They snuck off with it, which is good because they saved the structure. It would have been destroyed probably. And a very, very key system of the Imperium was taken as far as the iHub is. That's D-TAC-W was taken back to Pappy control. It was one of the gains made after M2 by the Imperium. And now you have Helm's Deep essentially being breached. So the momentum that was stopped is clearly back on the side of Pappy. And it could be that the Imperium are just picking their fights carefully and resting and really just biding their time for the right moment to strike back. It's a Skybreaker move. It's moving at a pretty good clip. Oh boy. I'm gonna follow this guy. Looks like they're crashing the gate here. Might be moving through. These are Sveeples. I'm not sure what's happening here, but they don't crash a gate like that. Incoming movement here. Yeah, being joined by a different fleet. I think this fleet is coming back together.